Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and once again we're out here in my hot garage for another Garage Gun Talk. And really, the end of this video is going to be the Texas Gun Vault After Dark, because we're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to share a story with you, and it's going to be about topics and sharing my opinions on things that might not be 100% safe for work, okay? So NSFW. But I'll tell you before I get there, they're not going to be too bad. I'm not going to use like naughty language or anything like that, but the overall general topics that I will mention might not be G-rated, okay? But as I said, I'll save it for the end, and I'll tell you before it happens in case you want to click away or not listen. But we'll get there. I also wanted to come to you guys tonight and maybe ask for your help, and maybe you could share your opinions with me about something that is going to be happening on the Texas Gun Vault. So in the future, in the very near future, I need to come up with a way of filming suppressor reviews, okay? And I want to do suppressor reviews different than other reviewers, because typically if you go to a NFA, suppressor review channel, you get, for the most part, their format is they unbox the suppressor, they show what the suppressor's about, they talk about its features, its mounting options. Then typically they go to the range. It's usually an outdoor range. They'll shoot whatever the host's firearm is, unsuppressed, and they get like a decibel reading, and then they shoot it suppressed and give you another decibel reading. And I don't have the equipment to measure that, okay? But I also don't think that measuring decibel reduction is the most important thing in a suppressor review for a number of reasons. Number one, most of the time, and I would say with 95 to 99% of suppressors out there, they're going to get them below 140 decibels, which according to OSHA is like the maximum decibel rating for safe hearing. Now, typically you don't want to be above 120 for any prolonged period of time. So suppressors, don't make a gun silent, even though we call them silencers. So there's often not hearing safe for long periods of time. And that's one of the reasons why I still use hearing protection when I shoot suppressed, because I am shooting indoors. But I think in today's suppressor world, we've moved past the decibel reduction aspect of a silencer. I think people that only look at the reduction of decibels in a silencer and buy a can based off of that are missing a broader look at a suppressor, because suppressors today I think can be rated in not just decibel reduction, but tone, flow through. How resistant are they? Do they have a lot of back pressure? Are they flow through? How well do they manage that gas? Of course, their features, and also how it changes the velocity, okay, of a projectile. All those things are really important, and I want to get away from just decibel reduction, because that's what everyone does. I want to do something different. So I've come up with a couple of ideas. Okay, number one, I don't have the equipment, and I don't really want to invest the thousands and thousands of dollars to get a proper decibel meter, okay? Because that data is already available and easy to come by. So when I review suppressors, which by the way, the reason I'm going to be doing this in the future is I've had 3 big opportunities present themselves lately. You guys know I have my friend Jack, number 2. He has an amazing collection of guns, and he wants to help me review some of his suppressors. So obviously, logistically, we have to work things out. Also, my friend D also has an amazing collection, and he has some suppressors that he would like me to review of his. So he wants to help me out with that and figure out all the logistics and the timing and going to the range and all that. And then also a company that I'm a huge fan of has reached out and is wanting to send me a suppressor or 2 for review, okay? And so I'm waiting for them to send that to my SOT, and then I have to transfer it to me. So I have these suppressor options, but I can't use my typical range report format for a suppressor review. But I also want to be different, and I want to give qualitative opinions, like how the suppressor looks and things, and how it sounds to me, because I don't have a microphone either. And most microphones also, when it comes to vlogging cameras and the things, they're all compression mics. So they take away the highs, they take away the lows, and usually they auto adjust for the volume. So you can never truly get the true sound of a suppressor on a YouTube or a Rumble video. It's never going to happen. So I don't want to really talk about decibel reduction. And when it comes to tone, I'm going to have to just be qualitative about it and simply say, this suppressor has a high pitch, a medium pitch, a low pitch, or it has a ring to it, or it has a thud to it. That's just going to have to be me describing the tone. But then I want to give quantitative data, something that I can show people to compare to other suppressors. And so the two pieces of data that I would like to show in a suppressor review, number one would be velocity change, because I think that's really important, because a suppressor can change the point of impact, but it can also change the velocity of a projectile, especially if you're in the pistol caliber realm. You could have a caliber like 9mm, which typically in its 115 grain loadings is supersonic, but based on the suppressor design or the host gun's design, you might get that to subsonic velocities. And so I think the way I can give quantitative data, besides showing the accuracy, of course I would shoot unsuppressed, show how it groups, and then shoot it suppressed, show how it groups. That's a quantitative. I also want to show the velocity change. And I recently spoke with you guys about being at the range, and somebody had one of those new Garmin chronographs that uses like the Doppler effect to figure out velocity. And it was really cool. And my friend D is going to lend his to the channel. Now, this is actually some equipment that I would like to buy for myself. So if you guys know the equipment that I'm talking about, if you guys know of any good deals out there for that chronograph, let me know. Because I've kind of looked online and I've seen the prices typically like in the high sixes for it, like $600, $700 for it. But if you guys know, because you guys have like great connections, if you guys know anybody that sells that for a better deal, let me know. Because I think I'm going to save up when it comes to the Patreon money and buy one of those for the channel. I think that would be awesome to add, because my friend Craig gave us the lineman trigger pull weight gauge that I use in all of my range reports now. I think having a chronograph would go a long way as well. So to give that data. So when I start doing these suppressor reviews, I'm going to use that chronograph, and D is awesome to lend it to the channel, but I don't want to, borrow it for a super prolonged period of time, especially when I'm reviewing other people's suppressors and things. So I'd like to only borrow for a little bit to try to figure out the format, how to use it, and then of course acquire one for the channel. So if you guys can help me track one down for a good price, let me know, and then I'll start directing the Patreon money towards that. I think that would be a great use of those funds. Okay, so that would be the data on velocity. And then the harder one to show, but I think it would be something that nobody else really shows, and it would mainly be on rifle suppressors on AR-15s. Decibel reduction is not as important today as it seems like the resistance within a suppressor. So for example, people care more about flow through cans, low back pressure cans, more than they do decibel reduction and tone now, because they don't want to have that gas coming back in their face or coming back into the gun. And while I couldn't test this on pistols, I would like to try to see if I can somehow measure that gas flow out of an ejection port. So here's my idea. Now, I have never seen a device that does this, okay? So I would have to create one myself. But if there is a device that does this, tell me, and I'll look into it. So I'm thinking about making a little stand, okay? Something like maybe like a wood base, and it's like a metal pole that comes up with a clip on it that maybe like an overhang, and I could put, I'm going to say for right now, for a medium, would be like a blank sheet of paper, like computer paper, 8.5 by 11 computer paper. And the stand, I could mount maybe 12 inches away from the ejection port of an AR-15. And so I could shoot the AR-15 unsuppressed. Of course, we get the gas that comes out of the bolt carrier and the ejection port. We would see on the paper how much that paper moves if it waves in the air. And then maybe if it's white, it would capture or show any type of particulate, unspent powder, carbon or whatever. We can kind of see how much is on the paper. Then I could replace the paper and then shoot the gun suppressed. And of course, we're going to have more back pressure, which means more gas comes out of the ejection port. And then we could compare that and see, does the paper move more? And does it show any type of splatter of the carbon or the particulate or the unburnt powder? Do you guys think that's a good idea? So have you ever seen a device that does that? And would there be a better medium than a piece of paper? Something that could capture that more? And do you think that's a good idea or not? I really would like your input because I got to come up with a new format for reviewing suppressors. So what do you guys think? So right now, my rough idea of reviewing a suppressor would be, if I have a suppressor in for review, I would, show its features. If it came in a box, I would unbox it or whatever. Show its mounting options. And then I would choose some type of host firearm for it. In this case, let's say it's going to be an AR-15 of some type, okay? Depending on the suppressor design, it might have to be a different one, not always the same. So then I would go to the range, I would shoot the firearm unsuppressed and then suppressed, and I would try to get a basic qualitative idea, the tone of the suppressor, what it feels like shooting, and then I would show the accuracy. I'd probably do accuracy and tone at the same time. And if I'm capable, I would compare it to another suppressor, just hopefully if it had a different sound to it. Then I would do like the back pressure test, which if it works, I think that would be really cool to show. And then I would do the velocity test, or maybe reverse those two, and show how much of a change of velocity shooting whatever caliber it is through the suppressor. And I think that would give a good metric for that suppressor's performance. But then when it comes to decibel reduction, you just have to say, or I'd have to say, yeah, I think it's hearing safe, or it's pretty loud or soft, because I just don't have a microphone. And even professional NFA suppressor reviewers don't have proper microphones that can register that right. And then when they upload to a platform like YouTube, even that compresses it more, so it never sounds right. If you've never shot suppressed or never heard a gun suppressed in real life, it sounds completely different than the videos you see online. It's never captured right. So I don't think I could do any better. So what do you think about that format? And I would love to know your thoughts. And would that be different than other NFA reviewers? And would you enjoy that? Okay, so help me out with that, okay? All right, so now we have reached the end of the safe for work section of this video. So if you want to turn away, I totally understand. I know there's some people that are complete prudes that watch my channel, okay? So I'm giving you the option to turn away now. So maybe I should give you a word of the day. Word of the day is going to be, we're going to say velocity. Velocity is the word of the day for the G-rated section of the video, okay? So if you want to turn away, I'll give you 5 seconds to go do something else. Okay, so if you're still here, we're going to talk about some naughty topics and a funny story. So I guess now we're officially in the Texas Gun Vault After Dark section. Okay, funny story about being a YouTuber, and especially a firearms YouTuber, is I post my email address in the description of every video. So if you want to contact me directly, I give you all my information. If you want to send me something in the mail, send me a letter, or if you want to email me, it's all there. And so, of course, I get a lot of emails. And sometimes you get on these email lists of these companies that are looking for people to review products. And not all of them are firearms related. Okay? Yes, I will pretty much only respond to people that ask me to review, flashlights, holsters, or if a gun company reaches out to me like they did for the suppressor review, that's what that's for. But inevitably, I'll get 1 or 2 a day from like random Amazon sellers. Like, hey, I sell a pillow, or I sell a I don't know. It's weird stuff like laundry detergent or something completely innocuous that has nothing to do with firearms and obviously would not um, help a channel. Or sometimes I even get people that want to do like video games or run an ad for like editing software or that kind of stuff. And I don't even reply to those because I'm not going to do anything that is not firearms related or in the ancillary aspects of firearms in the firearms community. But I got the funniest email a couple nights ago, and I had to read it to my family. And at first I thought it was a joke, but my son looked it up and it's completely real, okay? And I'm not going to name the product because I don't want you going out and looking at it. But I got a email and it said gun channel sponsorship or something like that. So I clicked on it. I was thinking, okay, it's maybe one of these Amazon sellers or whatever, just to see what it was. And it was a guy, and he had this big long thing. He goes, "I know you run a gun channel." Okay, and of course, I should probably have printed out the email because it was kind of funny the way he wrote it. It was really professional. I have to hand it to him. He's like, "You run a gun channel. And I know that YouTube is not very gun friendly. And now that they have all these policies, which I talked about in yesterday's videos, about you can't have sponsorships of, gun shops, gun companies, places that sell certain accessories and blah, blah, blah." He says, "I know you're hurting for sponsorships," which I'm not, but he says, "I have a product that you and your viewers might be interested in if you do it in a humorous way." And it was and how can I say this in a way that YouTube will not censor me? A male stimulation device, shall we say. It has a funny name. And I was like, holy crap. And he's like, "YouTube doesn't like my industry either. And maybe if we do this in a funny way, you might, I can sponsor your channel things." And I told my family, I laughed about it. My son actually looked up and goes, "Yeah, the guy's real. It's a real thing." I'm like, there ain't no way. I didn't even respond to it, but I have to give the guy some props for reaching out and being brave about that because, yeah, that's got to be, I don't want to say embarrassing, but like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you would cold call or cold email somebody about that. But hey, he's trying to make $1. I'm not going to work with him or anything, but I was like, holy moly, this is the wildest thing I have ever seen as a company or a seller of something reaching out to me to sponsor a video or to do an ad for them. That was bonkers. Okay, so that was story number 1. Story number 2 is an update on my Facebook post that I mentioned a couple days ago where I was at the gun range and I was reviewing a 6 Hour P210 target. And while I was there, I was wearing my Tudor Black Bay 58 watch. And on my personal Facebook page, not the Texas Gun Vault, none of that, I took a picture of the SIG, which is a Swiss design gun, and of course the Swiss watch on the gun at the range. And I made a post that only my friends could see, thanking Jack, number 1, who lent the gun to the channel, and my friend Adrian, who works at Noah's Fine Watches and Jewelry here in Frisco, who helped sell me on this watch that I wanted, because I wasn't sure on which size I wanted, and he really helped me out. He's kind of a luxury watch expert and salesman, and he's awesome. So I just kind of wanted to thank them and go, hey, thanks, Jack, for lending the gun to the channel, this awesome Swiss design gun, and thank you, Adrian, for selling me this fine Swiss timepiece. It's a great pairing at the range. And so I posted it, and then Facebook immediately took it down, claiming that I was selling firearms. Okay, that's what they said I was doing, and I was not. Obviously, I was thanking 2 people that helped out the channel, but it was a personal thing. And so I was like, okay, Facebook, the AI misread this, so I did like an appeal. Like you can appeal to have the post put back up, and I explained why the AI got it wrong. I said, I'm not selling anything. You can clearly read what it says. It's thanking people for lending this and helping me buy the watch or decide on the watch. And two or 3 days passed, and Facebook says they're going to keep the violation on my account, and that they are not going to overturn it because, in their opinion, I was selling guns. Whatever. Okay, so that's because they're absolute idiots. Okay, number one. So that's what that is. But then it was like the same day I had that violation, or the day after, I was just going through Facebook, and I started to watch these Facebook reels. Sometimes at night I'm laying in bed, I'm watching stuff. And for some reason, I get a lot of aviation ones, even though I don't fly planes. I get a lot of ones on parrots, like birds talking. They're just funny. They're just funny videos and so forth. So I'm watching this or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, a parrot video. I watch the parrot say something funny. Then I watch some type of airplane humor just because that's what shows up. And then literally I scroll. I just swipe down, and I saw, okay, and this is not an exaggeration, okay, I saw hardcore pornographic material for about 3 seconds. It wasn't like censored, it was literally, and it wasn't like, oh, it showed some breasts or something like softcore. It was like full on what you would think it is for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then the ad or the reel immediately switched to like a blank thing, and it said, to watch full videos, click here, do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was blown away, because this should not be on Facebook, right? Because obviously Facebook could be accessed by people that are under 18 years of old or 18 years of age, and you could be around people that are under 18 years of age. To me, I'm okay with Facebook censoring that type of adult material. Now, I gotta tell you guys, I'm not a prude, okay? People that really know me know I am definitely not a prude. I am just of the belief, as a libertarian, that if you're a consenting adult, you can do whatever you want to with another consenting adult or adults in the privacy of your own home, as long as it's not around kids or with kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you watch. I don't care what you consume. Don't care. Just don't do it around kids. Okay? I think it's our responsibility to keep this material away from people that should not see it. Okay? So if you want to watch a dirty movie, I don't care. I don't care. But don't show it on my Facebook reel. So what I did is I reported it to Facebook. There's like a little button at the top. Maybe you guys have seen. It says like, report this ad. I was like, this is completely inappropriate. So I reported the ad and said, why do you want to report this? I said, like sexual content, blah, blah, blah. I said, thank you for reporting. We'll give you an update on our decision and blah, blah, blah. And I can block the ad. So I blocked the ad. I'm flipping through more. And then it was a different one. It was obviously the same format. So I was thinking that somebody was creating these ads and knew exactly how to do it to get around the Facebook AI from recognizing what it was. So I had 4 or 5 of these ads, and I blocked them all, and I reported them all to Facebook. Now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, they didn't allow me to show a picture of a firearm at a gun range with a watch on it, thanking 2 people because it violated community guidelines. But then they're able to show literal, pornographic material. And then today, like 5 days later, I got the report. It said, thank you for reporting this. We did not take the ad down as it does not violate, or we determined it does not violate our community standards. What? What the hell is that about? It's the most bizarre thing. I cannot believe it. And as I said, I am definitely not a prude, okay? Trust me, I'm not a prude. I'm a libertarian, okay? If you knew the stuff that I joked about with my friends and my wife and all this kind of stuff, you guys would go, okay, he is definitely not a prude, okay? I am not some type of like, moral, none of that. None of that stuff, okay? I don't care what you do, but just not around kids or put it on a platform where kids can see it, okay? We have to keep that away from them. That's the responsible thing to do. And Facebook said that the ad that have 2 or 3 seconds of literal hardcore pornography where you see, and excuse me, you see penetration, and say that was okay. but my post was wrong. There's something screwed up with the world. There's something screwed up with the world. And there's one more thing I want to show you, and it kind of deals with this. And once again, you guys are going to think I'm a complete prude on this, okay? One of the things in the gun community I'm not a big fan of is gun bunnies. You guys know what gun bunnies are? Essentially, they're attractive females that review guns, show guns. Not that attractive women can't do that, but when they do it in a very suggestive way, there's a couple of female gun reviewers that are very voluptuous and have all the curves and dress in very revealing clothing. And of course, even though what they're saying isn't all that great, they get millions upon millions of views, right? I avoid those. I will never watch those videos. And it's not because I'm like, oh my God, my eyes. Trust me, okay? I've seen plenty of dirty movies in my life. I don't care, okay? I don't want to see that. When I want to watch a gun review, I want to watch a gun review, okay? I'm not there to watch that. And that's not going to change my opinion of the gun. I'm there for an intellectual purpose. But anyway, I ordered something because you guys helped me, because they finally came back in stock. The Arms Inc. number 22 TRR tactical rail, and this is for my Mark 12 Mod 0. Someone said, hey, those are back in stock at blank place. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get into trouble to tell you where to go get stuff. But I think you guys know there's a certain place that deals in like specialty clone parts. It's, anyway, a lot of people don't like them because honestly, they kind of charge way too much. But sometimes they're the only place to get stuff like this. Now, all I need to get is the tactical ring top for the scope that this mounts onto. So this is actually the harder part to get, but now I got to find the scope ring itself, or the top of the scope ring. But anyway, with the package today, I got some swag. And it's some stickers. I'm not going to show you one because it's going to show the name of the company, and I don't want to run afoul of YouTube. But I am going to cover up the name, or the beginning of the name, and the end of the name of the company. But this was the other sticker that I got, and obviously it is of either an AI created image or a photoshopped image of a woman holding what is this? A CZ Scorpion, and a very, I don't say provocative way, but like, look at her face. Look at this right there. What do you think that's supposed to be about? I don't like this in the gun world. I just don't. I think this is classless. I think this is disgusting. Not that this is disgusting necessarily. I'm just saying like the actual image is disgusting. I'm just saying that I don't think that we should sell gun stuff in a sexual way. That's just me. I know some of you guys are going to say I'm a complete prude. Some of you guys are going to say, oh man, I love those gun bunny channels. That's more power to you. Fine with me. Fine with me. But I'm just saying, that's just the way that I am. I like to compartmentalize my life. When I'm in the mood to watch gun content, I'm in the mood to watch gun content. Okay? I don't want to see anything. I don't care who reviews it. I don't care about their age, race, ethnicity. Don't care. I want a video that's about the darn gun. Okay? Don't hypersexualize it. If I'm in the mood to see hypersexualized content, I can go watch that stuff, and I don't want to see guns in that. I want to see that, right? But anyway, yeah, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about my stories? So that's kind of an interesting topic that I know maybe you guys were not thinking you would hear from me tonight. But I guess this, once again, is a Texas Gun Vault After Dark episode. So anyway, let me know what you think about anything that I talked about in this video. And if you watched to the end of this segment, which is almost at 30 minutes, the word of the day is going to be bunny, for gun bunny. So there you go. Let me think. So tell me about the suppressor stuff and how you think I should review suppressors, and do you like my format? And then do you think I'm a prude, or what do you think about my stories about the not safe for work things? So let me know in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.